there. This is Annette Negron, and our special guest today is Daryl Isaacs with Genesis Real Estate here in Stockton. Welcome, Daryl.
Well, thank you very much. You've twisted my arm long enough. I guess I had to give you in.
Yes. Thank you for doing this.
I don't do this very well, so thank you for being patient with me as we work through it.
No problem. Well, for the viewers that don't know about Daryl Isaacs, can you tell us a little bit about your company, what it is that you do, and what makes you different?
Okay. We are our new company name is Genesis Real Estate Group.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever saw our logo, you'd notice that it's kind of a unique logo. With the eye has this big block sun that's in it, and what we like to say is the sun is rising. And the reason why we went with the name is because in today's market, the economy is not all that strong. There's a lot of people that are hurting, losing their homes, have lost their homes, and they don't feel that the sun is rising. Maybe they feel that the sun is setting. Genesis is specifically designed to help bring those people back into life. You know, hey, there is a life after this. We can help you, and we can also help you get your housing situations taken care of and back into a house in time. So the sun is rising, and so we're designing the company specifically to help. We do that through a lot of educational opportunities with buyer prospects, seller prospects, helping them go through the counseling before they go to the market, and these different types of things so that they're ready.
Daryl, I've got a question for you. Can you give us some example of what you're doing today that's helping some of these individuals?
I think in 35 years of doing real estate, over 5,000 home sales, I feel that we've gained an awful lot of knowledge, and where we're at right now is we're able to take that knowledge and push it back to the people. And what I mean specifically is one of the biggest words, it's the buzzword in the market today, is short sale. It is rare time where someone owns a home, it is not worth what is owed against it. So at the end of the day, we're going to be asking somebody to accept less than what that house has a loan for.
Correct.
And call it quits.
Right.
Well, most sellers do not know how to approach this. All they see is, I'm buried, I'm underwater, I'm hurting, what do I do? Our approach is to stop, let's take a breather, let's start talking. Let's start throwing some options out. Let's start casting some vision that there is hope out there, and there is a plan that will help the majority of people. Not everything is savable. They say that only one walked on water, and that wasn't Daryl. But we definitely can help a lot of people. So what we do that's very distinctly different is we're going to spend the time to be able to meet with the people, hopefully well before the pressure gets too great. So we map out an exit strategy, and that is, I think, the greatest thing. For the first time in 35 years, I think that I am able to be more of a help. I know I said that, 100 times already?
No, that's fine.
But I'm able to be more of a help, more valuable to a consumer than I've ever been able to be in 35 years.
I've got a quick question, and this is for the consumers out there that are thinking possibly, when is it a good time? When should I decide to make that call to someone like yourself? What would you recommend that individuals do?
Fast word, today. But what does today equal? Today equals the moment you begin to understand that you're upside down, and that you have, it's created questions. You don't have to sign any papers. You don't have to list your home. You don't have to do any of that.
Right.
Get information. If you have information, you can make a good decision.
In regards to what would make their stress less, obviously you have had a certain amount of training and designations to get you where you are today. So can you share with the viewers a little bit about that, and so they can feel confident this is why you're different and how that works?
One thing I learned when I started the business was training, and I spend anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks every year specifically in training. My wife just informed me that I have been in 7 to 10 days of training every month since December, and here we are in the middle of July, and I'm taking off for 2 more weeks of training for the last 2 weeks of July.
That's why we're doing the video now.
Yes. But I totally still believe in it. I can't, the world's changed. I have done this for 35 years. In 35 years, if I tried to do business the way I did 35 years ago, it's a different world.
They're even saying how it was 5 years ago. It's irrelevant.
You know, and honestly, since October of 2009, there has been a radical change.
Exactly.
So even less than 2 years, there's been a radical change. So you have to stay up with it. We do. The designations they're nice, but the whole thing of what it's about is to give a consumer confidence that I don't tell you that I have education, but the designations say that, so that you feel comfortable that, hey, this gentleman, this lady, they have spent the time to go get the education, and so therefore they can bring something to the table. And that's definitely what we're going to do. We're going to receive the education, and the thing I love more than else is to give options. I think the education plus the success that we've had in transactions and sales has given me a place that's so unique. There's not many people who have sold the first house in a subdivision and then sold that same house 7 or 8 times since that time.
No.
But that's the type of thing that we can bring to the table. So you take the education that's current today with the knowledge we've gained over the years, and I get to do what I love to do, and that is bring options. It's no fun when you have one option.
No, it isn't. It's
but if you
no
have
fun.
2, at least that's better, and hopefully we can create 3 options or 4 options. And now you get to choose the best way to do something, rather than you're in a corner and there's only one
I'm going to ask you, where do you see yourself, or you see this industry going in the future? And if we can maybe in the next 5 years. I know you don't have a crystal ball, neither do I, but where do you foresee the future of your business in this industry?
Well, where the market is headed right now, as far as market goes, is that we have a huge amount of properties that are in default, which means not making payments.
Right.
And they're in some form of foreclosure, whether it be day 1 foreclosure or the last shoe is going to fall, somewhere in between there. And those have yet to be resolved. And we're probably not going to see, though, they say until 4th quarter that we begin to see those begin to come back into the marketplace. So the market's going to be made up predominantly heavy in REO, foreclosure properties, and heavy in short sale.
Right.
Minor players will be those who have equity in the property. The person who has owned a home a while, has not refinanced their home a lot, or has got their home to a cash basis, they're ready to retire, that type of thing. Small percentage. So we're going to see most of the activity come from there. So where Genesis is headed, we're really built the company around those 2 consumers. The third consumer, obviously, we're going to serve.
Obviously, you'll service them
We'll
all.
service them all.
Right.
But we
correct.
know that there's special needs in those first 2 categories, and that is where we have extensive amount of training. My team, the team of agents that are here for Genesis, they are skilled in those particular sets. They also hold some of the same designations I do, as CDPE, CRS, GRI. So they hold some of those designations, but they too are skilled. We train them to be able to assist particularly in that area. So we see that that's what's going to happen probably for the next couple of years. After that, I love to teach. I have a little teacher that lives within me. Every once in a while he has to crawl out, and I get that opportunity to teach. And so hopefully something that I have in my head will be worth of value to somebody that they'll want to hear me
If
talk.
someone wants to contact you, and I am going to put your information, so it scrolls, best places to check out your website. Would
Yes.
that be good? And also the phone number and the address of your location. And anything you want to add that you want to tell the viewers at all?
She's really pretty good. Or as a consumer, find out that you are working with someone who truly has the ability, the background, and the success track record to be able to get into that. Talk to them. Ask lots of questions. One of the things I say is bring 1,000 questions. I'll get an answer to every one of them. I believe you got to bring 1,000 questions to the table so that you know where you stand at the end of the day. There is nothing left, no rock unturned. You know where you stand, and then you make a good decision.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And the viewers, I know, are going to really enjoy this, and they're going to be actually, the phone should be ringing, and I hope that they do call you, because that's the first step.
Thank you so much.
So.
I do appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.